Welcome back to the Great Reset with your host, HVTLC Life Coach, aka Emmanuel Vega. That's me. And we're going to talk about how to transform your mindset and your habits. That way you can transform your life for positive results. Today we're going to talk about how to improve your confidence. But first, what is confidence? Like, really, what is confidence? Think about it. Well, to me, it's what you do with yourself, right? How you talk to yourself, how you confide in self. Confide in self, self-confidence. Think about it. How do I say, hey, I'm gonna do this, and then I actually follow through with it? Because that's part two. We'll talk about that in a second. So how many times do I say I'm gonna do something, and then I actually own up to doing it? And how do I hold myself accountable when I don't follow through with it, right? Here's the thing. A lot of us, every single day, will say, I'm gonna do this, and then we don't do it. How would it feel if every day, imagine this, if every day for 1 year, you told yourself, or not even you told yourself, a stranger came up to your house and said, hey, I'm gonna cook dinner for you. Now that sounds crazy. Maybe not a stranger, maybe it was your aunt or uncle. They came every single day and said, hey, I'm gonna cook dinner for you. And the first day you're like, oh, really? You're gonna cook dinner for me? You get excited, you're enthusiastic, you can't wait. They don't cook dinner. That's how it feels, right? Everything's just falling out of place. So the next part happens. And what's that? Okay, they come the next day. Same thing. They come the next day. Same thing. So there's 3 days in a row now, and you're probably looking at them like, they really gonna cook dinner, or they're just gonna lie to me again? You don't know. Maybe things coming up, you're making excuses for them. I get it. Something's come up. But then a week goes by, a month goes by, a year goes by. And after a year, you're looking at them like, no reaction. Because in some part of your brain, in some part of your heart, you don't believe what they're saying is actually true. And the reason you don't believe this is because time and time and time again, they've proven that they're not gonna show up. So here's the issue. A lot of times that person is you. You're not showing up for yourself. You're saying you're gonna do this, but you're not actually doing it. And it's been happening for so long that now there's a disbelief and disconnect within yourself saying, I don't know who to trust anymore. There's like a part of you saying, I wanna row this direction, and another part of you saying, I wanna row that direction. And when there's two people rowing in opposite directions in a boat, the boat goes nowhere. So what do? What can you do? First things first, restructure that connection with yourself. Start saying, I'm gonna go take a walk this way and then take a walk this way. Start saying, I'm gonna make this video and then make this video. Start saying, I'm gonna do this workout and then do this workout. Start telling yourself you're gonna do the things you're gonna do right before you do them, so you build that connection and trust with yourself again. Once you do that, you can move on to the next part, which is following through, right? My mentor always told me that if you wanna build more confidence, you have to follow through, cross your finish lines. See, we can set an objective, but without crossing the objective, we lose confidence in ourselves. It ties back into that lie to ourselves, that first one. So we can say something to ourselves and not hold truth to it because we don't follow through with it. That follow through is conviction and belief in self and belief in what you're saying to yourself. It's confidence in what you're doing with yourself. It's confidence in your it's confidence in your capacities, your capabilities. It's confidence in your being. Let's be real. It's a confidence in your spirit, and it comes through evidence of you actually doing, performing, following through, crossing the finish lines, completing the objectives on the things you say you were going to do initially. So that first one and the second one are kind of tied together. And then the last but not least, it's actually really simple, but it requires the most work. See, it's easy to learn a new skill. It only takes 20 hours. And it's easy to master a skill. It only takes 10,000 hours. So 20 hours is 18 minutes a day for a year. That'll get you a new skill. 18 minutes a day for a year. To master a skill, it takes 40 hours a week for 5 years. 40 hours a week for 5 years. That'll get you 10,000 hours. And that can master a skill. The professional will train until they no longer get it wrong. And the amateur will train until they no longer get it right. Until they finally get it right. So let's say that again. The professional will train until they no longer get it wrong. And the amateur will train until they finally get it right. Which one are you going to be? The professional who trains and 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 trains until they no longer get it wrong? Or the amateur who's going to perform until they finally get it right? The difference is in who you are as a person. The difference is in the hours you put in. The difference is in the time and dedication. See, last time we talked about a video, we talked about energy, attention, and time. What you give energy, attention, and time to will compound over time. So today, what I'm giving my energy to, what I'm giving my attention to, what I'm giving my time to, over the span of my life, it'll add up. You'll see as a result of things compounding, meaning built up upon each other, how they result over time. And so my efforts will be showing themselves. Your efforts will be showing themselves through our results in life. And a lot of times we're not happy with the results we have in life because we don't like where we are. If you do like where you are, you're probably a person that followed through with the first one. You said you were going to do something, you followed through with it, and you met success, and you're happy, you're satisfied, you felt successful with that objective being met. You have confidence in yourself, you have belief in yourself. And if you're not happy with your life, but you have confidence in yourself, then that's a highly different subject. We'll talk about that another time. But if you guys want to build more confidence in yourself, let me know how you actually done it yourself, if you've done it already. And if this works for you, if you're not a person who has confidence right now, if these tips work for you. And if you have your own tips, what have you done already that no one else has done or I haven't said right now? And let us know in the comments down below. As always, stay blessed and stay beautiful.